I'm Becky Wolf, and Liz. There's Liz Kurtz, and she is the director, president of the Friends of St. Clements Bay, and we're a nonprofit that we're trying to take care of the water quality in the area. And so, of course, native landscapes make a huge difference in our water quality. And when this piece of property outside the library became available, that we knew this new library was going to be here with the senior center, I don't know how many of us thought, oh, that could be a native landscape, and we got really excited about it, as did people in the library themselves. And so we all sort of had this dream, and we've been able to make it move forward. It's called the front yard because it's an example of what people can do in their front yard to create habitat. And I'm not going to talk about it very much because two people who are key to our project worked on, well, three, worked on this wonderful video you're going to see, but I would like to encourage you to come out to see the front yard when you're done. I know it's chilly, and we can do a really quick little tour so you can see the keystone plants that are there and find out what might work well in your yard. And you're welcome to join the fun. This has only been possible through a community effort. Many people have donated many hours. It's been a wonderful experience, and it's going to get even better because I don't think we'll have any trouble maintaining this place because it's going to be such a marvel to be in it and to see it change and grow. So come on and join the fun. We have sign-up sheets there, and we'll have them out with us out in the yard. And is there anything else you want to add to that? Yeah. I should say that there are a number of organizations here that have been key as well in making this possible. So.
Welcome to the Front Yard Project, a collaboration between Friends of St. Clements Bay, Leonardtown Library, and Garvey Senior Activity Center, a community project to convert 1/4 acre of blank lawn space into valuable, sustainable public green space.
Hello, I'm Michael Blackwell, Director at St. Mary's County Library, and we at the library are thrilled to be working with many community partners and the entire community itself on the beautiful new garden going in front of the Garvey Senior Activity Center in Leonardtown Library. It's going to feature native species, it will have trees, it will have flowers, paths, benches. It's just going to be a fantastic place to come on out, learn about Maryland nature, or just relax with a great book. Come on out and see us. Thank you.
The project is meant to serve as an example of what a repurposed mowed lawn can look like and showcase the many environmental benefits that come with the introduction of native trees and plants. Community input was gathered to better understand how people might like to use the space. A tour of a nearby natural area helped to provide inspiration. These conversations led to key factors included in the initial design by Christina Pax of Annapolis Landscape Design.
So for this front yard project, we knew we wanted to reduce the lawn by creating lots of planted areas, but we did keep the lawn in strategic places to create open feeling rooms that could be used for sitting or playing or for group activities. These areas are then connected by lawn pathways. Then the next step was to place the larger items, trees and then shrubs. For winter interest and cover for birds, we included evergreens, both pines and broadleaf evergreens. We also included plants with berries in winter like hollies and red twig dogwoods to provide winter color. Once the rooms had taken shape and the trees and shrubs were placed, the design focus shifted to perennials, grasses, and the rest of what is called the ground layer. Also, to help define and maintain the area, a mowed border frames the entire garden. The plantings are organized in 6 groupings, each with its own theme. Every plant selected had to be well suited for this hot, dry site. It had to have good wildlife value, and taken all together, we wanted to be sure we were creating year-round habitat for beneficial insects and birds. Let's take a deeper look at just the ground layer in a few of these areas. You might get some ideas for your own landscape. Keystone species, before we start, are dramatic key players. You can think of them as heavy lifters that support much more wildlife with their leaves, nectar, and seeds than even other native plants. So the smooth blue aster, we're using the cultivar bluebird, and the dwarf willow leaf sunflower are both host plants with a long list of beneficial insects they support. They are both strong nectar producers, and they also, if you leave them up after they've finished blooming and they set seed, these seeds are very beneficial to birds. The purple coneflower is added in so that we have some good earlier bloom, since both the willow leaf sunflower and the smooth blue aster are later blooming. And the pink muhly grass adds structure, drama, and texture. In the bird paradise section of the garden, we have sweet bay magnolia and northern bayberry. These trees and shrubs are both evergreen once established. Birds love them for cover, and they both also produce berries that birds will devour. Eastern bee balm and anise hyssop are early bloomers that attract hummingbirds to the garden, as well as supply nectar for bees. Beard tongue and blue-eye Samsonia are excellent ground covers, deer-resistant and beautiful. For late-season interest, we have as keystone species the willow leaf sunflowers again, and also New England asters. All asters are keystone, and there are so many that you should be able to find one for any sunny place in your landscape. We also have the tough and long-blooming great blue lobelia, which is another hummingbird magnet, and little bluestem grass added for structure, winter interest, and for the many small moths and butterflies it supports. The Woodland Garden has a canopy layer of trees and then understory trees as well, like, for example, the deer-proof spicebush, host for the spicebush swallowtail butterfly. When these layers finally establish, there will be good shade for plants like wild columbine and many kinds of native ferns. But while these layers are still establishing, and it's still pretty bright in this area, we will have hairy beardtongue and broad-leaved mountain mint, both excellent nectar producers, and even fireworks goldenrod, which can be transplanted later when there is real shade here. The shrub border runs between the garden and the library itself. The inkberries are an evergreen shrub with small black berries that birds enjoy, and fothergilla is a strikingly beautiful shrub with early spring bloom, lovely blue leaves in summer, and great fall color. Switchgrass is a tough native ornamental grass that makes a beautiful border. And to tie it all together, we have long blooming and very reliable black-eyed Susans. Of course, we had to have a Monarch Garden complete with 2 of the best milkweed host plants for home gardens, the beautiful swamp milkweed and orange butterfly milkweed. But monarchs also need nectar in the fall to fuel their migration, and so we've added late and long blooming October skies aster. And to pull it all together, we are using blue grama grass, which can take light traffic and has sometimes been used as a low or no-mow lawn.
In the fall of 2021, site preparation of the garden beds began. An outpouring of community volunteers laid an enormous number of cardboard boxes to help prevent weed growth and spread mountains of compost and mulch. A small collection of boulders was added to lend some three-dimensional texture to the space and serve as a natural play area for kids. Over 65 native trees and shrubs were then planted. so that they would have the winter season to get established before a hot, dry southern Maryland summer. Once the trees and shrubs were installed, preparations began for spring planting of more than 20 species of native perennials and grasses. Students from the CASE program at the James A. Forest Technology Center took responsibility for overwintering and potting up many of the plants. The rest will be installed as plugs. Once established, native plants and trees are remarkably low maintenance, but getting them thriving in the first 2 years takes a lot of effort. Volunteer help is needed to complete weekly watering and weeding. This spring, planting of native perennial and grass species will begin, and educational signage and seating will also be installed. Benches were donated by community members in memory of friends and family. We hope this project interests you and gives you new ideas for your home. If you would like to get started, first ask yourself where you use your lawn. We aren't advocating for a complete removal of lawn, but consider the places that aren't being used for recreational activities or are wet and difficult to mow. These are perfect areas to transform. For the lawn you do decide to keep, we recommend managing it in as ecosystem-friendly way as possible. Insect sprays are toxic to beneficial insects and pose health risks to children and pets. Fall fertilization promotes root growth and stronger turf, while spring applications prompt top growth only. Complete a soil test to see if your lawn actually needs fertilizer before applying. Setting the mower blades to 3 inches allows turf to maintain root and blade growth, and longer turf helps to shade out unwanted weeds. Rethink these areas of unused lawn. Your local Master Gardener Program coordinator and volunteers can assist with site-specific recommendations, and the Home and Garden Information Center through University of Maryland Extension has a new webpage of case study examples of community members transforming their lawns into beautiful and beneficial native plant gardens. Friends of St. Clements Bay also assisted with the purchase of new native plant books for circulation at the library. Start with a simple sketch of your yard, then pick a small new area you would like to transform or consider adding native plants to an existing garden. Once you have your plant list, visit your local nursery and let them know that you are looking for native plants and trees. We'd like to thank the many generous supporters who have helped provide funding for this project.
As you can see, we really wanted to create an area that would sustain insect and bird populations because we were very concerned about the huge declines that have happened in those populations in our lifetimes. And so, you know, many key species were picked to attract insects, particularly butterflies and moths, that would have caterpillars to feed the birds. And so if you come on out, we can show you the trees and shrubs that have been planted, and there are a number of key species there. And it's fun to just, you know, see what it's like now, and it's going to be so different even next fall. And I can answer questions out there, and so can Liz, or if you have something really specific for in here, we're happy to try to answer it. Anything? Okay. Well, I hope you come out, put your jackets on, and you only have to stay as long as you want. But you don't have to come out, but it's pretty neat. The inkberries look really beautiful right now.